Come, 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 sit, sit, sit. Darlings, wonderful to have you here. Come here, darling. Lovely. Now, as you know, I don't normally do wedding planning. However, as a favor to Robert and Helen, I will make this exception for you. This will be a spectacular wedding. This will be a wedding for the gods. But we are not there yet, darling. We are not there. Now, first and foremost, it should be known, I support and love the establishment and tradition and history that is marriage. You are committing yourself, your souls, to one another until death do you part. And this commitment is a powerful thing. It is also going to be very challenging. Marriage is not something to be taken lightly. It is not for the faint of heart. It is something that is, well, one can look at it as the most rewarding things we have, darlings. We have to earn. And a great marriage is not something that happens. A great marriage is something that you earn, you work on, you constantly are tweaking and molding and shaping as the both of you grow and blossom into eventually your own tree. Right now you are two trees, and eventually the two trees will more or less become one in the distant future. However, the journey to get there is not easy. Now, have you taken or signed up for wedding counseling yet? Good. This is incredibly important. Many people do not realize that getting married is one of the biggest and most important, not only emotional, but also legal and also financial decisions you will make in your life. The person you marry will have a massive impact on who you become. And I'm sure you are aware of that. And I'm sure you are also aware that there is no such thing as happily ever after. This is not a Disney fairy tale. In real life, a marriage takes work. It takes effort. It takes compromise. It takes active listening, active communication. It's important that you find yourself starting off this journey with the right tools, because inevitably, no matter how much you love somebody, there will come a time when they simply piss you off, darling. When this person sitting next to you, who right now you're like, oh my gosh, I am so in love. They're the best thing since sliced bread. Oh my gosh. I can just see myself swimming in their eyes all the time and blah, 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 blah. Twitter-pated, yay. There will become a time, maybe you had it already, maybe you haven't, I don't know, when you are incredibly angry at the other person. Like rage angry, like want to give them a shake angry, you know? And first of all, be aware that this is normal. Not only normal, it is important. It is important that you are challenging each other, and not that you're pressing each other's buttons, but that you are each adding your own nature to the pile. And if there's one symbol that all of the great Eastern religions and philosophies really got correct, it is, of course, the yin and the yang. Okay? It is the light and the dark, the masculine and the feminine. Okay? It is the combination that makes you two work together and be better than you ever could have been as individuals. I remember I had a couple And this was a lovely couple that I met many years ago, almost a decade ago. And he was relatively successful. He was hardworking, and, I think he was a bartender and, getting through life. And she had a good job. She worked more corporate, but now has her own business, but at the time had a good job. And when these two met, it was beautiful to watch. They grew together very organically, and it was not a fiery, passionate relationship in the way of, like, they were bleeding for each other, and they were like wearing like Billy Bob Thornton and Angelina Jolie, like wearing little vials of each other's blood around their neck. I mean, that's just crazy talk. I'm sure the sex was amazing, don't get me wrong. That must have been a wild ride. But ultimately, anything that burns that hot is going to flame out, okay? But this couple that I met, they grew together, and they are now quite successful. And when I spoke with them, and I asked them how their marriage was going and how it felt for them, they made an observation. They said, well, it's interesting how when you find the right partner in your life, it is not that 1 + 1 makes 2. It was more like 1 + 1 somehow made 10. Let me explain. Because the two of them supported each other. The two of them pushed each other, inspired the other to do better, to take risks, and be bold, and be expressive, and be brave. They have created a new, greater, expanded universe that never would have been possible as individuals. Like, as individuals, they were whole, complete, and perfect, darling. He was successful. She was successful. But when they got together, it wasn't like combining 1 + 1. It was like the combining of forces expanded their life and their universe to levels that they never could have reached on their own. And this is what all great partnerships do, darlings. And I'm very excited to see you embark on this journey together. So, when are you going to have your first counseling session? Good. Okay. Now the actual wedding date, you said you would like to have in 6 months, 4 months, and about 6 months. Okay, perfect. I think having 6 months is a wonderful amount of time to... It's not too far in the future where it doesn't feel like it's going to happen anytime soon, but it also gives us a little bit of breathing room. Okay, I'm glad you're coming to see me now, darlings. And you are planning on starting your wedding counseling when? Good. Well, I recommend at least 1 session per month for the next 6 months. So 1 day per month over the next 6 months. You are welcome to do more if you would like. But I would like you to see, and I have, of course, several recommendations for you, several referrals. And you can pick and choose who you like. If you like the male therapist, the female therapist, whatever you like, darling. You let me know what you are more comfortable with. Or if it doesn't matter to you, even better. But I want you to see this counselor at least 1 time per month for the next 6 months until the wedding date. Will you commit to that? Excellent, darling. Good. It's very, very important. Now, so the actual date, you would like the date to be? Okay, that can be very nice. That can be very nice. well, I'm a big fan of autumn weddings. It is a beautiful time of the year, a time of changing, a time of reflection, kind of going into from the harvest. We have reaped what we have sown, and we are sliding into winter, into the cozy time and the family time. But it's still there's still warmness in the air and the crispness, and there's the color, the changes in the colors and the beauty of the nature around. I love this time to plan a wedding, darling. And along that theme, would you like to have an autumn-themed color scheme? By the way, I highly recommend this. For one thing that I have learned in life and nature and the earth is it is better not to fight nature, darling. For Mother Nature, God, whatever you want to call this world around us, is a divine beauty. The most beautiful things I have ever witnessed, aside from my own designs, of course. I'm kidding, darling. It's not. No, the most beautiful things I have ever witnessed are in nature. They are inspiring, beautiful. It is stunning. And when one goes with nature, it is sort of like riding a wave. You are part of it, but you're not fighting it. You are in flow with the world around you. And this, in my experience, creates beautiful harmony. No, I wanted to ask you before we get too much into your wants for the wedding date. Again, going back to the counseling, I had another thought. Again, it is very important that you have like the big questions aligned with. If you thought about the big questions, yes, and definitely bring this up with your counselor. So things like, for example, how important is family to you? You know, you each have families. Where do your families live? Is this a problem? Are they in the same state, in the same city? Will one be visiting more? Will one come on another visit more? This is something that can be worked out, but it's something to be aware of. Okay? Family. Another question, of course, do you want family? Do you want children, darlings? There's no right or wrong answer, but it is something that it is important you be on the same page with. Okay? Now, one thing I've noticed some couples in the last 10 years or so, and this is very sad to me, is that I've noticed that politics have gotten in the way. And I saw friends over the pandemic actually get a divorce because one felt a type of way about this event, another felt another type of way about how the government was behaving, so much so that they ended up getting a divorce. And to me, this is tragic. It is not necessary for you to share the same politics as your partner. Okay? It's not. It might be useful in some cases, and there might be certainly less squabbles from time to time. However, you are going to have different opinions on some things, and you will have anger and fights and things that you have passionate feelings about. And it is absolutely necessary that you learn to love and accept the other person for everything they are and everything they are not. For the person sitting next to you will not fill every vessel. They won't. The person sitting next to you will challenge you. They will inspire you. They will frustrate you. They will make you angry. They will make you cry. They will make you laugh. They will make you smile. But it is not all hunky-dory. It is not all a bed of roses. Okay? This is something that you will hopefully continue to grow and expand and blossom into, darling, as you come together and you grow together into the new entity that will become the two of you. Well, it is creating a new entity that is the two of you. It is also, of course, very important that you do not lose your individuality, darlings. One thing that is a mistake, and it happens sometimes, especially when one of the partners is more dominating than the other one, when one of the partners is a bit more alpha, if you will. Sometimes the more beta can get wrapped up into the alpha's world a bit too much, in my personal opinion. And they can kind of lose their identity and who they are and what they want. And they'll kind of just go with whatever the alpha would like. And in my experience, this is a mistake, darling. For while it is true that you are growing into a new entity together, which is beautiful, you are two individuals, always within this context and frame, that you are always going to be you and have your likes and desires, and they are always going to be them with their wants and likes and desires, and they will often line up, but not always. It is important to accept this, and not only to accept, darlings, but to embrace, to not tacitly deal with or stand the other thing, but to love the other parts of your partner, especially the parts that you may even disagree with, to be sure that you are always two individuals who are coming together and always choosing the other one. Okay, good. I look forward to hearing how your counseling sessions go. Now, autumn wedding. I love this for autumn. Okay, so therefore, if you're doing an autumn wedding, let me look at the two of you. You don't have the same color scheme. I will always default toward the bride. Does anybody have an issue with this? Good. You shouldn't. That would be a tragic mistake. So, the bride. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. Certainly, with an autumn wedding, we are going to focus on earth tones. Okay. Against, of course, the backdrop of a beautiful white. So we're going to, of course, have a beautiful white. But I want to see colors of rich browns, maybe some deep forest greens, some pops. We can have orange pop here and there, river rock red, slate blue here and there, little maybe kiss, little pop of little bit here there. Suddenly burgundy colors and the reds. And so, do you know what color you would like your bridesmaids' gowns to look? Okay. Tentatively, I'm going to suggest chocolate brown. Okay. Now, it also will depend. I need to see what your bridesmaids look like. Okay. But I'm going to suggest chocolate brown for the bridesmaids' gowns, or possibly, do I want to do a burgundy or a deep red wine? I'll have to make options, darling. I will make samples. And if we could, I'd do a test fitting. I don't even need a test fitting. If you can get me a photograph of a body shot from roughly the thigh or the waist up of your bridesmaids standing in a neutral setting, plain background. Something in nature is great. If you're going to be outside with green or something naturey behind you, that would be ideal. But have you and your bridesmaids stand in a line, and we'll just take a photograph of all of you together, and I can actually play with the colors that way using software and using actual physical swatches. Okay, and the same thing for the groom. Now the groom is, I'm sorry to tell you that the groom is not as important in this, but I do request the same. So for the groom, can you also please get a photograph of you and your groomsmen, roughly waist up, in kind of a neutral background, so that I can maybe add accents Add accents, you know, the color of the pocket square, the color of the waistcoat, the color of the suspender, depending on what type of tuxedo or suit you want to go with. Yeah. Okay, you can get that to me? Good. By when? Perfect. Okay. Okay. And when it comes to things like the actual physical location, have you picked out where you would like to get married? Beautiful. Oh, gorgeous. I love the Smoky Mountains. Well, they are certainly underappreciated in many aspects. But the Smoky Mountains can have stunning, I mean, some of the most beautiful fall colors in planet Earth, in my opinion. And the combination with the old mountains and the old granite with the beautiful, hopefully we'll have hints of green, but with the fiery red and the oranges and the yellows, that whole swath of color should be stunning, darlings. So we have the venue, okay, good, and the location, good. Do you know roughly how many guests we are inviting? Oh, good. Okay. No, that's a nice medium amount. It's not going to be too crazy. No. And it gets, when you get more than 200 people, it becomes quite a lot of logistics. Or at least it can. It kind of depends. And you can also just have it be more like a free-for-all, which I've seen, and it can be very effective. So one thing that I've definitely noticed, darlings, some people can get way too control-y. You know what I mean? You've heard this term bridezilla, okay? And it's because, of course, it says, I'm sorry to the grooms, but to the bride, it says your day, okay? Let's not tease anybody, okay? And it is her day, and that we want it to be beautiful and perfect, okay? But to the bride, look at me, okay? You will not become a bride. Look at me. You will not become a bridezilla. Say it back to me. I will not become a bridezilla. Good, 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 good. And this is not for my sake, darling. This is for your sake. Okay? And I won't tolerate it. And if I need to, I will put you in your place. I'm teasing, sort of. Because what I need you to do is I want you to be able to enjoy this day. And the reality is that when the time comes, the whole day is going to go by in a blur. It'll be a whirlwind, okay? And when you are fretting over the little things like, oh my gosh, I wanted these roses over here, and I wanted those flowers over there, and I wanted this thing, nobody will care at your wedding party. Nobody will care. Nobody is thinking about that. Nobody is going to be thinking if this is the right such and such or the wrong so and so. It is your day. And I want you to be able to enjoy it to the best of your ability. And that does mean you will need to let go and hand the reins over to me such that you can relax. Now, I will be with you the whole way. I will even hold your hand, darling, for part of the time. But you and you, both of you, I want you to be able to, when the day of, is to only focus on each other, okay? For example, I've seen people lose their minds over the type of cake, whether it was red velvet or white cake or carrot cake, whatever cake that people wanted, confetti cake, whatever. I've seen people have complete meltdowns over things that I cannot stress this to you enough. Do not matter. Look at me. These details will not matter. You won't remember them. Nobody cares. Okay? Good. Now, With all that being said, darlings, the next step is going to be sending me those photographs. Sending me any photographs of the venue that you have, okay? And I want you to send me photographs of things that you like. Send me pictures of weddings that you thought were beautiful, of venues, or anything that inspires you, okay? I want you to send me photographs of things that inspire you. This goes for the both of you, okay? And at our next meeting, I will have some samples of styles for you to look at, and we will from there narrow it down. Okay, darlings? Wonderful. So take a deep breath with me. This is a beautiful thing. You're embarking on a beautiful journey together. The road will not be easy. It will not be smooth sailing. It will not all be hunky-dory in a basket of roses. But it will be one of the most rewarding experiences of your lives, hopefully. And I want to be here to make sure that you're starting off on the right foot, darlings. Okay? Okay. So, I will see you in 1 week. You will get your therapy, your counseling session. Good. Good. Okay. And I will see you in 1 week, and we will start to put together some more design and style. Wonderful, darling. This will be bold. This will be beautiful, just like you. Okay. Mwah. Mwah. Okay. Okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. I see you so soon. Okay.